Good afternoon. I'm hoping everyone can hear me okay. My name is Rob Moschetti. I'm the National Sales Manager at Campion Education. Today, our host will be our guru or our expert, will be Leah Schaffel. I'm firstly going to read the acknowledgement of country, and then I'm going to hand you over to Leah's very capable hands. Campion Education acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to elders past, present and future, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. Again, thank you very much for joining us. I'll hand you over to Leah Schaffel.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Rob, for the lovely introduction. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. As Rob said, my name is Leah, and today I'll be taking you through Campion Education's resource list builder platform, Eco. I'd like to preface this demonstration by letting you know that it's a very robust system and you can be confident that you cannot break it or lose any information. If you do encounter any issues as you're progressing with your lists, please reach out to your Campion support team and I will show you where to find their information once we've logged in. As we move through the session today, you will see there are various ways to access the tools and complete your tasks. I will show you the different options available so that you can decide on the best approach for yourself. There are also different levels of access. Resource List Coordinator, who can edit all lists and has sign-off approval. Head of Department or Faculty can edit their own subject or faculty. And Basic Access, which is just read only. I will discuss both Resource List Coordinator and Head of Department roles and access. I will also show you the difference in building a standard resource list for families compared to a bulk list for classroom supplies, which we call Invoice Bulk. I'll just share my screen here. Okay, so to access Eco, please go to campion.com.au. and select School Staff Portal. I'm just going to minimise that. There we go. You can find the School Staff Portal in the top right section here or in the middle of the screen here. Click on this and you'll be taken to the login screen. Enter your username and your password. Your username is your school email address. Due to privacy concerns, Campion does not collect or store password information. If this is the first time you're using the portal, or if you've forgotten your password, please just click I forgot my password and you will be emailed instructions on how to create your own password. Once you've logged in, you'll be taken to the dashboard. For this demonstration, I'm using a mock-up school, Campion College, with mock-up resource lists so as not to affect any actual data. This is the dashboard. So understanding the dashboard. In the top right corner, you will see an envelope icon. Click this if you want to contact your Campion School Support Coordinator by email. If you have access to other campus lists or a combination of resource and bulk lists, you can access them via the drop-down arrow in the right top-hand corner here, or by selecting one of these large tiles here. The dashboard is where you find every resource list created for your school. Each list shows the dates we are working towards. Subjects completed by is the due date for subjects to be finalised. Resource list approved by is the due date for the school to sign off the resource list. And resource list published by is the date when Campion will publish the lists live online. If you have any questions about these dates, please speak with your Campion support staff for help. For each resource list, you can also see at a glance how many subjects have been completed and the status of the resource list. Only lists that are open can be edited. Your Campion support staff will be in touch to let you know as soon as your lists are open, or you can feel free to contact them to find out when they will be ready. At the bottom of the screen, you can find the contact details of your direct Campion support staff. please feel free to contact them with all of your resource list questions. In the left-hand panel, you can see Campion's catalogue. Here you can find our available resources, which includes print, digital only, and stationery. Let's have a look. So I'll begin by looking at print and digital. If you know the resource you're looking for, you can use the search bar to find resources by title, by keyword, or by ISBN. When using the search bar, keep your searches to keywords only. For example, if I was searching for Romeo and Juliet, I would not type the and, but I would just start with Romeo. As you can see, some of the books have the and as an ampersand, and some of them have the word spelled out. So you get the best results by using just keywords in your search. If you are still unsure of what you're looking for, you can also use various filters to help with your search. Select your state, and you are now offered various key learning areas to assist with your search. Select your KLA to see all the books falling under this category. You can also search by publisher. If you cannot see the publisher name that you want to search for, you can just type their name in the box here. For example, Insight Publications. And then here are my results. You can select a title to see more information, including in most cases, the cover of the book, the ISBN, the recommended retail price, publication date, the publisher, Campion's code, and also a blurb. This will help ensure you are selecting the correct resource. If you're unable to locate the resource you're looking for, please contact your Campion support staff member and they'll be able to assist. I will now just remove my filters before moving on to the stationery catalogue. Okay, so to access the stationery catalogue, simply click the stationery icon here. This will open up our entire stationery range. You can filter by various categories here to help refine your search. And you can also click on these images to find more information about the product. Now that we've explored the dashboard, let's move on to editing the resource lists. To go back to your list, you can click the back button here, or you can click here to be taken to the dashboard. Now, before we go any further, I want to let you know that everything that was on your 2025 resource list has now been made available as your 2026 list. This includes both booklist resources and bulk supplies to the schools. Various Campion teams have been busy rolling over the information, contacting suppliers to ensure we have correct pricing and to confirm that the resources will be available all throughout the year. In most cases, where there is a new edition available, we have already replaced the resource with the new edition and flagged it so you can quickly see that it is a new title. Our teams are still working on these updates, but I will show you an example of what it looks like shortly. If there are no new editions available, we have flagged the item as going out of print and you will need to select a new title. I will also show you what this looks like a little later. Victorian schools have had comments added to the novels that are no longer on the VCAA reading list, so you can clearly see which books need to change. So it's very easy for you to see what you were using in 2025, decide if you need to make any changes, or if you can just continue with the same resources for 2026. So let's begin editing a list. To select a resource list, select a year level. You can do this from the dashboard or by selecting resource list here in the side panel. You can select the resource list name or you can click on the build button to access the list. To change to a different year level, you can use this ribbon here and select the year level that you want to edit, or you can simply return to the dashboard and select it from there. You can also minimize this side panel at any time to give you more room to see the lists. Once you've selected your list, you will see all of the subjects that were on your 2025 resource list. New subjects. New subjects need to be added in by the school's resource list coordinator or by the Campion support team. If you are the school's resource list coordinator and want to add a new subject, make sure you're in the main list like this and do not have any subjects or resources selected. Click the Add button in the right here and select Subject. You will be asked for a subject name and the key learning area that it relates to. You can select from the drop-down arrow, or you can start typing and choose the relevant KLA for your subject. Regardless of whether the subject is core or elective, please ignore this core subject slider here and leave it in the off position. Click Add and your subject will be added to the end of your resource list. Everything in Eco can be dragged and dropped, so to move the subject into alphabetical order, just click and hold the subject and drag it into the correct location. Deleting a subject. If there are some subjects that are not running in 2026, your school's resource list coordinator or Campion Education school support staff can delete it for you simply by selecting the subject, clicking the ellipses, and selecting Delete. A pop-up will appear asking you to confirm that you want to delete the subject. Click Confirm, and the subject has now been removed from your list. Editing subject names. If you need to edit the name of any subject, you can do so by clicking on the name and then select the name in the right-hand panel here. I will change this to Maths. Be sure to click the Save icon and your subject has now been renamed. To view the resources within a subject, select the subject and the contents will appear on the right. Going out of print and new editions. As I mentioned earlier, Campion is replacing textbooks that are moving to new editions for 2026. So you can see here in Humanities that Oxford Vic Humanities has already been replaced with the new edition, and there is our new release flag. In some cases, there is no new edition to swap to, for example, Tricolor. So in these instances, you will see this symbol against the resource, advising that it is going out of print and you need to select another title. You will not be able to approve your subject if you have resources included that are out of print. Adding a product. To add a print and digital or a digital only product, select your subject and then click Add in the top right corner. Select Product and you'll be taken to our product catalogue. Our developers are currently working on updating how the catalogue displays, so when you access the catalogue through a subject, there will most likely be a slight change a little later in the year. Search for your resources as we did in the main catalogue. I will search for Investigating. Find your resource and click the Add button. The new resource is added to the end of your subject. If you cannot find the resource that you are looking for example, I will go in here and filter for Victoria Humanities, and then I will search for elephant. Okay, so as you can see, when this reloads, nothing has come up. So to remove all the filters, you can simply click Search All States and all of your filters will be removed and you will see the resulted items here. To get out of this window without adding anything into your list, just click the Cancel button down here. Adding stationery. So to add stationery items, select your subject, click the Add button and choose Stationery. When you first open your stationery catalogue, you will be limited to stationery items that are only used by your school. This helps ensure you have consistency among the year levels and the subjects. And of course, if you're looking for a stationery item that is not currently used by your school, just turn off this slider here and you'll be able to access our entire stationery catalogue. Use your filters or your search bar to find your item, as we did earlier, and click the Add button. The new stationery item has been added into your subject. You may want to edit the quantity of stationery items listed in your resource list. So to change the quantity, first select the resource, and then you can change the quantity here or here, or in the right-hand panel here. Change is required, and you can see it's already been updated in my list. If you're working on a bulk supply list or an invoice bulk list, you edit the quantity of stationery items the same way as we did in the book list. So here I will change this to 50. However, you cannot edit the quantity of the books in bulk items. You will see here that the pricing has been updated to reflect my bulk pricing, but the quantity field cannot be changed. Please email your Campion school support staff and they will update the quantity on your behalf. Deleting a resource. If you want to delete a particular resource from your subject, it's as easy as selecting the resource, clicking on the ellipses, and choosing Delete. A pop-up will appear asking if you are sure. Click Continue, and the resource has been removed from your subject. As mentioned earlier, all resources can be moved around using the drag and drop feature. Click and hold any resource to be moved and reposition as required. Adding headings. You may want to add a heading under a subject to differentiate the resources required. For example, LOTE might offer the choice of 2 languages with different resources listed for each. Add a heading by clicking the Add button and select Heading. In the Name section, type your new heading. Pop an estimated enrolment count in the box here, and I will explain more about enrolment counts a little later. Click Add, and your heading will now be added to the end of your subject. Resources can then be added under this new heading, and they will be displayed to the right here. To edit an existing heading, simply select the resource, and over on the right here, click the Edit button. The Update Heading pop-up will appear. Change the name of your heading, Advanced, pop an enrolment count in, and click Save. My heading has now been changed. Deleting headings. If you need to remove a heading, just select the heading, select the ellipses, and choose Delete. A message will appear asking if you want to continue. Click Continue, and your heading has been removed. Collection groups. You may want to offer families the option to purchase either a print and digital resource or a digital-only resource, and you obviously don't want them to purchase both since it's the same resource just delivered in a different format. So to assist families to order correctly, we put these options into selection groups. When they go online to order, families will be offered a drop-down menu to choose from and will only be able to select one resource or the other, not both. I will show you an example of this when we come to previewing the lists online. This is what it looks like in Eco. The title of the resource is here, and then you select the resource to find out what options are offered. As you can see, we have print and digital only. Creating a new selection group is as easy as adding a product. Navigate to your subject, click Add Product, and locate your resource. For example, I'm searching for Cambridge Senior. When you select the resource, oh dear, sorry. You can see that you're offered the option of print and digital only. Select one or multiple to add to your resource list. So I will select both options here and click the Add button. And as you can see, my selection group has automatically been created. There is the title of the book, and there are my two options within. Moving to comments. So all comments that were on the 2025 list have been included in your new 2026 list. Please check existing comments for accuracy. We have two types of comments available, standalone and attached. Here is an example of a standalone comment. It's not associated with any specific resource, but it's a general note to families. To edit an existing comment, select the comment and click on the ellipses. Choose Edit Comment, or you can also select the big Edit button over here. Make your change and click the Save button. You can see your comment has now been updated. To delete an existing comment, select the comment, click the ellipses, and select the Delete button. Click Continue, and your comment has been removed. To add a new comment, be sure that you have only the subject selected. You can do this here. Then click the Add button and choose Comment. Type your comment here. This is a comment. You can also format these comments. You have the option of bold, italics, underline, or strikeout. Click Add when you're done, and your comment is added to the bottom of your list. You can now drag and drop your comment wherever you require. Attached comments are comments that are linked to specific resources. For example, English might list a dictionary in Year 7 and want to advise families that it needs to be retained until Year 12. So to add a comment, select the dictionary, click on the ellipses, choose Attached Comment, and add Attached Comment. Type your comment in here and click the Add button. The comment has now been attached to the dictionary, and if you drag and drop this dictionary, you will see that the comment moves with it. When you view it online, it is very clear which resource has this comment attached. Stationery packs. So Campion Education also offers the option to add stationery value packs to your lists to make it more affordable for your families and to help ensure that students have the required resources. If your school does not offer a stationery pack and you would like to add one, please contact your Campion support staff and they will help you to create a new one. For schools who already have a stationery pack listed, we ask that you please review, edit if required, and submit back to us by the 30th of August. This early submission allows our warehouse to commence ordering the resources and create the packs in time for your families to receive their orders. To review the contents of an existing pack, locate the pack, select it, and then click Edit in the right-hand column here. Scroll down to see the contents already included in the pack. To edit the pack, you can change the quantity of items, remove items, or add items. To change the quantity of an existing item, just select the ellipses here and choose Edit Quantity. 4. Click Save and your quantity has been updated. To delete an item, select the same ellipses and press the Delete button. Your item has now been removed from your pack. To add a new item, select the Add button here and choose the Stationery Catalogue. Same as when you are adding stationery into a subject, the catalogue will first limit the results to stationery items only used by your school. Turn off this slider if you want to view our entire stationery range. Locate your resource and click Add. The new item will go to the bottom of the pack. Once you're happy with the contents of your stationery pack, you need to submit it so that we can update the pricing. To submit the pack, scroll to the top and click the Submit button in the top right corner here. The pricing of the pack will not change on your resource list until Campion has made the changes in the background and then uploaded it back onto your resource list. This usually takes around 48 hours from the time of submission. Stationery packs can be offered as just the pack, or we can list the pack and also list the items separately if families do not need to purchase everything within the pack. The choice is yours as to how it's displayed on the resource list. I will show you what it looks like online later as well. So to go back to your list, just click the Go Back button here. School transfer fees. The Campion can also collect various school charges via the resource list, including school transfer fees and payments to third-party providers such as Education Perfect. Your school's resource list coordinator and your Campion support team can add school transfer fees to the resource list. These will be collected by Campion and then remitted back to the school after a set date. To add a school transfer fee, you must be a resource list coordinator. Choose your subject, click Add, and then choose School Transfer Fee. In the description fee, enter the text of the fee that you want to add. Enter an amount in either the amount payable to school or amount payable by parent box. The system will automatically calculate the other option. Click Add, and the fee has now been added to your list. You can also attach comments to these fees to let families know more information about the fee. Please contact the Campion support team if you would like to add information to your fees. Thank you. Your Campion support team will also notify you of the close date for these transfer fees, as these vary state by state. Once the close date has passed, the option to pay for the fee through the resource list is closed, both online and in store. Our finance team then run final reports on students who have paid and will remit reports and payment back to the school. This feature is not suitable for adding other third-party charges. Please speak with your Campion support team if you want to add something other than a standard transfer fee, and they can advise you of the pricing details and close dates and will add them to the list on your behalf. Approving subjects and enrolment counts. So once you've completed your changes, you need to approve your subject. This is as easy as navigating to your subject and clicking the Approve and Lock button down here on the right. A pop-up window will appear asking for estimated enrolments. If you're working on a standard resource list, please enter an estimated enrolment quantity for the entire subject here. We understand that you do not know exact enrolments at this time of year, but by giving us an estimate, our inventory team can begin ordering stock to ensure it's ready and available when your students need it. If you're working in a bulk supply list, please enter an enrolment of 1. This is because we use the quantities against each product for our order, and if you put anything greater than a 1 in the entire enrolment count, our system will multiply the requirements by that amount. You can approve your subject without entering enrolments, but when it comes to the final sign-off, we will need rough numbers for each subject. Once a subject has been approved and locked, you will see there's a little green tick here, and you will not be able to make any further changes. However, if you have locked your subject and you realise that you need to make a change, you can contact your Campion School's resource list coordinator or your school support staff, and the subject can be unlocked for you with the Unlock Subject button here. Just remember to approve and lock the subject again once you are done. Here's a tip for resource list coordinators in the school. If your staff have not entered enrolments under each subject, you do not have to go into each subject to enter the enrolments. Instead, go to the Edit button up the top here and select Edit Enrolments and Unlock Subjects. A pop-up window will appear which lists all of the subjects. Pop an enrolment in each subject and click Save Enrolments when you're done. On to previewing the resource lists. So you can preview the lists at any time and at any stage of the build process. You can download a draft PDF copy, you can review the entire list line by line, or you can view the draft list live online and see what your families are offered when the lists go live. To access the previews, select a year level and go to View. Click Preview PDF and a draft PDF will generate. Campion is moving away from PDF copies as they're not a very good representation of what families see when they go online to order, but we understand that some schools still like the option, so we've left it available. Click Review Content to be taken to a single page with all the resources listed line by line. This makes it much easier to search for various resources rather than going in and out of each subject individually. Click the back button here to return to your list. And here is my favourite preview option, Preview in Student Ordering. This is where you can see what your families will see when they go online to order. As you can see, the ordering portal has been customised to suit the school, in this case, Campion College, so these are some of our beautiful IT staff. If your ordering screen does not yet have school logo or image, please contact your Campion support staff for information on image requirements. There are introductory comments at the top of the resource list that can be customised, and you can also include live links if you require. Please speak to your Campion support staff if you'd like to make any changes to this section here. And now you can see all the changes we've made in the resource list. I will just first select Close All, so I'm just showing the subject headings, and then I can click into each subject and see the resources. English, you can see here is the comment we added to the dictionary. Health and PE, you can see we changed this comment here. We added a standalone comment here and the fee here. Humanities, you can see that families are notified that this is a new addition. Languages, here is the new heading that we added for Japanese. As you can see, there are no resources yet listed. Maths, here is the new selection group that we added. As you can see, families can only choose print and digital or digital only, or they can decide not to purchase. And here is the existing selection group from science that was already there from 2025. Here is the stationery pack. Option A, so parents can choose option A or option B. Option A, they can add the pack here and they can see the savings clearly here. And then they can also select individual items if they don't want to choose the pack, by selecting items down here. It's very worth noting that this preview screen is not dynamic. So if you go back to your list and make changes, it will not automatically update in the preview tab. Please be sure to close the preview and run a new one to see any changes that you have made. Completing your list. Once all subjects have been approved and enrolments have been entered, there is one last step for the resource list coordinator, and that is the final sign-off. Select your year level and enter a total enrolment count to the right if you have not already done so. This is the estimated enrolment for the entire year level or levels in that list. Click the Save button and then hit Approve and Send List to Campion. This will not publish your lists live online, but it will advise us that you have finished and we can initiate our resource list health check. Once the list is approved and sent to Campion, school staff cannot make any further changes. Campion staff will then review the list and check if any resources may have been added in error, for example, a Year 12 book in a Year 7 list. We check all resources and comments, we confirm school charge pricing and close dates, and we fix up any formatting issues. We will come back to you if we have any questions or suggestions and work with you to make the final changes. Once everyone is in agreement, we publish the list live online, ready for families to start ordering. At this stage, we can also send you flyers for your families on how to order, and these are available in 11 languages. We can provide you with an instructional video that you can add to your website to assist families in using the ordering portal. Please speak to your Campion support staff for any more information. We also understand that families place their orders mostly because they receive a reminder from the school. So we're very happy to supply you with communications to send through your usual communication method. Please speak with your Campion support staff for more information. And just a couple of other bits and pieces before I finish up. Early English lists. Campion offers the option of an early English list. This is generally a list of novels that students are required to read over the school holidays, and so get their orders delivered before Christmas. If you do not have an early English list and would like one, please contact your Campion support staff who will be able to help. If your school already has an early English list, you do not need to edit it. In fact, it's not even open for you to edit. All we ask is that you complete the subjects in the main resource list, and we will then replicate the information into the early English list on your behalf. Samples and page proofs. If you're looking for new resources or want information on new editions, please contact your Campion support staff and they will be able to provide you with access to online samples and page proofs and hard copies as they become available. Schools who use our digital platform, MyConnect 2, will also have direct access to these samples and page proofs through the trial page. For more information on MyConnect 2 or the trials, please speak with your Campion support staff. That wraps up my demonstration for today. A recording will be emailed to you shortly with a copy of our user guide in PDF format to assist. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you found this session valuable.